guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. So I'm out today, just out in the rose bushes patch. And as you can see, I have a ton of rose hips. And they're still really in good condition. They're not all crinkled. They're not dried out. They're in really great condition. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm actually going to be picking some of these, snipping off a lot of them, and except for the ones that are all shriveled, like this guy here. You don't want this guy. Leave that for the birds. I'm going to be picking them, and I'm actually going to be making rosehip jelly for Christmas dinner. Basically what you do is you would just do this the same way you would do any berry. You basically cut it from the stem. You would take the seeds out of the rose bud, just because what happens with these rose hips is they have really hairy, weird seeds in them. So what you want to do is you want to actually cut the rose hip in half, take out the seeds, and then process them as you would, for example, jam. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It doesn't take very much to process this and turn it into jelly or jam, as you would know, the people who can. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing, is cutting all of this off. Now, living on the plains, we are blessed with two things: weeds and wild roses. So we tend to have a lot of rose hips available, and they're really, really good for you in terms of vitamin C. They're good for heartburn. They're good for a lot of different things. And so, you know, if you're just looking for that sort of natural boost to your immunity, these are really good for you. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and go jump out and, you know, try rose hips. Some people may have reactions to them, so just double check before you actually harvest them or put them in a tea and see how you feel. But I've had rose hips lots and lots and lots of times before, and they taste really good. They're tart. They make great tea. The one thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that if you are processing rose hips, that you're not going to over process them, like over dry them or overcook them, because what it does is it actually kills a lot of the vitamin C in it. So that's what you're trying to do when you harvest them, is to collect something that will be good for your immune system and good for the dining room table. So basically, I'm just going to be snipping them off right here, right at the top. And normally what you would do is, after a good hard frost, you would clip them and just get them ready to process. And you can do this on your own. You just cut them in half, take out the seeds, toss them in the bowl, put them in your pot, boil them down, put your sugar in them like you normally would, and either make your jelly or jam out of them. If you are going to pick rose hips, these are the ones that you don't want. You don't want these guys that are already sort of dried out. Leave these ones for the birds. You know, they've already lost sort of their efficacy. You want to have berries like this one, for example, that are, you know, nice and round. They're not dried and they're ready to be processed. But you definitely do not want ones that are dried up, because they're basically no good at this point once they've reached this point. So we're going to leave this guy for the rabbits or the birds. This is one of the joys of actually having property, is just being able to harvest natural things. And like I said, sometimes what I'll do is I'll dry it into a tea. The other things that I've used this for are leaving them completely on the rose stems, because roses grow like weeds, and just basically putting them in my fresh wreaths for Christmas. But you just harvest them like that. Bring them inside, cut them in half, take out the seeds, put them in a pot with some water, boil them down to make a jam. And they're kind of almost like a cranberry jelly. That's what I can sort of relate it to, is a cranberry jelly, fresh and natural, right from your property. Just wanted to show you what I was doing today, guys. Just share a quick little garden minute. I'll be taking these, like I said, and processing them. If you are lucky to have access to rose hips, go ahead and cut some for yourself. Try it out, see what you think, make a tea with it. You can also dehydrate them, but like I said, it does take a lot of the vitamin C out of it, and the vitamin C content is what you want. And I'm processing mine into jelly. So just a quick little garden minute to share with you guys. Thanks very much, guys. Thumbs up if you like the video, or hey, if you just like the rose hips, and see you soon.